Yeah, joining me now is Rajya Sabha MP Rajeev Chandrasekhar. He joins me from New Delhi. Rajeev, thank you so much for joining me on Business Nightline. Now, my first question to you is that the initial reaction from corporate India and the stock markets, I must add, here in Mumbai was one of deep disappointment. What's your key takeaway from the budget?
Well, I mean, I think Mumbai I can criticize, but I think the fact is that this is a budget that is operating, the finance minister and the government and the economy is operating under very challenging circumstances and environment, both fiscally and from an external point of view. And for people obviously who are looking at a big bang superstar kind of a budget, they will walk away disappointed. But for people who are looking at a budget that establishes a path for the next 4 years or 5 years, this budget will seem reasonably sensible, status quoist, and a budget that is going to preside over the slow but sure recovery of the economy.
Right. Interesting you mentioned that, Rajiv, because that was going to be my next question to you. Do you really see it building on the green shoots of growth that we are seeing right now? Because even the economic survey said that we could see a recovery by October, November this year. So do you think this facilitates or lays the groundwork for that kind of recovery?
No, I think I'll tell you what this budget is doing. This budget is basically banking on the fact that investment flows and a slow recovery of the economy consequent to the early fiscal packages is underway. That's the fundamental assumption of this budget. And in a lot of ways it says, let that recovery continue. We will not play around too much with it. We may help it with another 40,000 crores of fiscal sort of a spend, because the fiscal deficit has gone from 6.6 to 6.8. But what it's doing is it's prodding the green shoots of the economic recovery as we are seeing it unfold over the last 3 to 4 months. And so therefore, I don't think you can see an accelerated spike in economic growth rates from the 6.5% to the 7.5% that the economic survey had outlined as being the range. I think we should all be sanguine about growth and expect a reasonable to moderate growth rate for this year.
Right. Right, Rajiv, let me get a little specific on why Mumbai was disappointed. To get back to the original point I was making, no clear statement as far as disinvestment is concerned, at least in terms of targets. Are you disappointed at that end? Because there were a lot of expectations around that.
No, Mini, I have not. I'll tell you why. He said two things. He said in his budget that this budget document should not be seen in isolation, and there will be other policy announcements. As you know, FDI these are sectoral issues, and there are different administrative ministries that come into play. So I suspect what is going to happen is that each one of these administrative ministries over time is going to now announce what kind of FDI caps will be relaxed and so on and so forth. I think he did not want, I don't know what was in his mind, but he clearly said in his speech, don't look at the budget document in isolation and look at various policy pronouncements post the budget document. So disinvestment again, look, I think disinvestment is no longer an ideological issue, because he said in the context of fiscal deficit and the consolidation, he said he will use disinvestment, expense management and subsidy rationalization as the 3 tools to create a roadmap for fiscal consolidation over the medium term. So disinvestment in my mind is going to happen. It may not happen tomorrow, it may not happen 6 months from now, but it's clearly on the cards to happen in the next 1 or 2 years.
Right. Right. Rajiv, last question to sum up our conversation and your key takeaway from this budget. What are you, actually ending the day on? What kind of note? Are you happy with what Pranab Mukherjee has done?
I'm getting a message which is reasonably stark, and it's a message that says that we have a large number of economic challenges that are still ahead of us, and it's not happy days just yet. So we have to make this slow and steady move towards a high growth path. It's not going to be instantaneous. This is no longer about instant gratification. This is about a slow, steady, measured movement into a high growth orbit. And that will take time, that will take even maybe some pain, but we will get there, but we will get there over time. And so therefore, in a lot of ways, this is a sensible budget. It is not tried to be all things for all people. It has tried to remain true to the path of establishing a roadmap to fiscal stability and economic growth.
Right, Rajiv. We'll leave it there. Thanks so much for joining me. That's Rajeev Chandrasekhar, Rajya Sabha MP from New Delhi.